good evening, or good afternoon to all of you. I see a lot of familiar faces, and that doesn't make it easier for me. But I want to welcome you to Observatorio this afternoon, and I thank you for the invitation, Diana, Paco. It's obviously an honor for me to be speaking here. Um, when Paco called me to invite me to talk tonight, the first thing that came to my mind was a word, and the word was resistance. That's the word I associate with Latinos in the USA and specifically with Latinos in Boston. So, in order to explain why that word came to mind, I will just start by telling you the story, what I live every day at Villa Victoria, and why that place and that neighborhood is an act of resistance and action. When I say resistance, it doesn't come alone. It's just not to resist. It comes with action, with plans, and with objectives that through 50 years, we see them as a reality today. So I have the honor and the privilege to work with the largest Latino-led nonprofit of New England. It's a community-based organization, and the name is Inquilinos Boricuas en Acción. Right there, the name says it all. It translates to Puerto Rican tenants in action. So it's resistant and it's action. 50 years ago, they organized and they resisted the power and the bulldozers of the city of Boston that wanted to take them out of their neighborhood, of their homes. And with a lot of action, a lot of organizing, with a motto that says we won't move from parcel 19, no nos mudaremos de la parcela 19. Still, when you go to Villa Victoria, you can read that. They are there. They are there in the middle of Boston, in the heart of Boston. So they fought. And they named the neighborhood Villa Victoria in honor of that victory. The FOD not only provided housing for them. Right now, the organization owns around 800 units of low-income housing. But aside from the housing, we provide several social services that go from education services that work with their main issues, which are healthy food access, financial empowerment, technical education, and services for the elderly. All that to make their lives easier. We provide bilingual education for preschoolers, a youth development program for youth at risk. We are a satellite campus for Bunker Hill Community College, and of course, we are a creative space. We have the largest Latino arts center in New England. And that is also an act of resistance. I am privileged to lead that center, and through Latino music and dance and theater and film and literature and visual arts, we celebrate, we affirm our identity, we educate about our culture, we denounce injustices, we create community, and yes, we resist. Most of these activities, we hold them in Spanish, all of them in Spanish, every night. And when I think about that we're doing in the heart of Boston, a theater piece, all spoken in Spanish, that is an act of resistance. And it's incredible to me that today, in 2018, we still have to fight for that. We still have to realize that that is important and that we have gained our right to do that. And that is the way that we reaffirm who we are, and we are proud of that. As I walk every day through Aguadilla and San Juan Street, I say hi to everyone in Spanish. And generation after generation, that community have spoken in Spanish. And I feel that speaking Spanish in the heart of New England is the real linguistic resistance. And I think of my other patria, my other country that is Puerto Rico. I am originally Colombian, but I lived and I was raised in Puerto Rico. And every time that I see that example after 120 years of American colonialism, everyone dreams, speaks, fights in Spanish, all after that. So yes, in Villa Victoria, we have resisted 50 years, and we have a very clear presence in the city. Today, 1 out of 5 people in Boston are Latino, and we keep growing. 1 out of 5, think of that. Right now, I think the call we need to make is to convene around a common goal, our culture, and amplify our representation and our voice. Let's keep fighting to be more relevant, to affirm our Latino presence in Boston, and let's keep doing what we're doing. We have to. So thank you so much for having me.
Muchas gracias, Elsa, por tus palabras y por tu resistencia.